Hello everybody. So I've just watched the Shadowboxer's video, and I thought I'd do a reply. People keep asking me, why do you keep giving them the time of day? Why do you keep talking about them? Because I enjoy it. Because I like to. Because I like to reply to Shadowboxer, because it's easy to reply to him. You know, and one of the reasons why it's easy to reply to him is because, you know, everything he says about me is not true. But everything I'm about to say about him is true. It's factual. You know, and then most people who've got a brain in their heads know what I'm saying is true, you know, and 90% of the people that follow him and see what he's saying know that it's not true. You know, for example, let's compare each other as a fighter. Let's compare each other. Whether it's an all-out fight, a dirty go, or a stand-up fight, he stands no chance to slim chance of beating me in any way, shape or form. That's a fact. You know, I've beat some real outstanding fighters. You know, I've sparred with some top level fighters. I've held my own against some top level fighters. You know, I've fought professionally in a ring and cage. You know, I've actually fought professionally in the BKFC. You know, this guy's fought 2 donuts. You know, in the fucking forest of Backwoodland. You know, compare. You know. So I understand why people are saying you shouldn't be giving this man a time of day because, you know, he's not on my level, he's not this. But I do enjoy it. I'm playing the game, as he would say. You know, he's playing the game. You know, the only thing that gets me pissed off is when he talks about women and children. That's the only thing that really riles me up, and that's one of the reasons why I said 100%. I would absolutely chew that man's face off. I would try and gouge his eyeball out. I really would, and I'll stand by that. You know, I am a fair player, man. I will give anyone fair play. You know, if someone wants to stand and bang, I'll stand and bang with him. If someone wants to all out dirty go, I'll probably knock it back. You know, it's very. I wouldn't give anyone a dirty go. You know, only him. You know, if I had animosity with another proper fighter online or on YouTube or on Instagram or TikTok, whatever it was, you know, I would have it out with him. You know, we'd try and arrange a fight, and I would make sure that it's a fair stand-up, fair go, shake hands before, shake hands at the end. You know, yeah. I mean, look, there's only one more man that I despised on this level, and that was Dekaregi. You know, the reason why I despised Dekaregi was because he threatened to doorstep me and all that shite. You know, so I probably would have given him a dirty go, but even still, I wouldn't have bit him. I wouldn't have bit Decker. I wouldn't have bit his nose. I wouldn't have bit his face. I'd have wanted to beat him fair and square. But where Shadowboxer is different level, innit? It's different gravy. He's you know, his criminal record's there for us all to see. You know, what he went to jail for, strangling a woman and trying to force himself on a woman. You know, that's, you know, that man doesn't deserve a fair go. You know, he doesn't deserve a fair go. And then he's speaking about, you know, my friend's wives. You know, he spoke about my grandchild. You know, he spoke about some real naughty things, you know, regarding women and kids. So that's why that man will never get a fair go off me. You know, would I fight him? Yeah, of course I would. Of course I would fight Shadowboxer. Would I go out my way to arrange a fight with him? No, definitely not. I wouldn't fight him on any show. I wouldn't fight him on any. I would fight him if he'd come over to here and he was in the UK and he wanted me to go meet him. I would go meet him, and I would absolutely put some real hurt on that man. I would put some damage on that man. Like I said, I would have to take 2 or 3 strong people with me just to make sure that they could get me off him when it's game over. Because he's the type of man I wouldn't want to stop hitting. You know, and I could possibly do a good jail sentence for what I would do with that man. You know, and that's just me speaking from the heart. That's me speaking facts. You know, that's me speaking the truth. You know, I would really want to hurt that man. And, you know, I seen another video where he was talking about his hero moment. You know, his hero moment beating someone like Bash. Now, I don't like speaking ill on Bash's name because, like I said, I've spoke to Bash on a personal level, and Bash seems like a nice man. Bash seems like a good man. You know what I mean? But speaking about Bash's fighting credentials, you know, there's no hero moment in beating that man. There's nothing comes from good from beating Bash in a fight. Nothing. A few numbers online, a few views, that's all you're going to get from beating Bash, because he has got big balls and he will come and fight, but he'll come to lose. You know, Bash has no problem with losing the fight. You know, that for me is a big no-no in the fight world. I think when a man prepares himself to lose, it's a bit shit. You know, I don't like that side of fighting. You know, I think when people are just turning up knowing they're going to lose for a bit of clout and a bit of numbers. It's shit. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's why I don't respect Bash's fighting style. I don't respect his fighting output. Is the way he looks around that, the way he looks at fighting, and the way he commits to fighting. I don't like that. I can't respect that. I do respect that he's got balls. I do respect that he's game, but I don't respect the fact that he's willing to lose and he's not asked about it. Me, that's where my fear comes from. My fear and my nerves come from losing the fight. And that's probably why I've never lost a fight. Will I lose a fight in the future? Of course I will. Of course I will. I'm fighting on a high-level bare knuckle show, or bare knuckle organisation. So there's a possibility I will lose, and I'm cool with that. All I know is that if a man does beat me, he'll have to be really good. He'll have to be a really good fighter. I certainly wouldn't lose against a man called Shadow Boxer. Definitely not. He's talking about Mick Terrell, being the best fighter, being the best. I'll agree with him on that. Mick Terrell is the best bare knuckle fighter in the world. Because he's an heavyweight as well, it makes him probably the most dangerous bare knuckle fighter. And guess what? I speak to Mick Terrell. I get invited down there to train with Mick Terrell. Mick Terrell's my friend and brother. I can go down there and spar with him and train with him anytime I want. And Mick knows he'll get some good rounds out of me. Do you think Shadow Boxer would be able to train with people like that? He can only dream about training with people like that, getting invited to gyms like that. He can only dream of that. Anything that comes out of Shadow's mouth holds no substance to me. It does piss me off a little bit when he talks about women and children. That's it. That is it. But him talking about fighting the way he does, like he knows it all, like he's a proper fighter. Like, look, if Danny Christie comes on and talks about fighting, then we listen. If Jack Draper comes on and talk about fighting and bare knuckle or boxing, then we listen. Rico Franco, Mick Terrell, Conor Tinery. When these guys talk about fighting on social media, especially around the bare knuckle stuff, we kind of listen, don't we? We listen to what they've got to say because we're interested. Because we look at these guys and we respect their fighting style. We respect what they're doing in the fighting world. Shadow Boxer is a laughing stock. He does numbers. He's got a big following. He does all right because he's a comedian. He's a comic sketch. That's what he is. He's not in the fighting world. Every single fighter that I speak to that watches Shadow Boxer or that's heard of Shadow Boxer or sees him, they just laugh. They just laugh. And they say the same, why are you giving him the time of day? And I think because they enjoy it. And people like to see my reply to him because he's a fucking melt. If I did ever see Shadow Boxer and he would be face to face, I would attack him straight away on spot, and I would put some serious hurt on him. But I would like to think because I've got a wife and kids, that I would have the ability to stop hitting him, but I wouldn't trust myself. Because that man doesn't deserve a fair go. He deserves to be disfigured. He deserves to be hurt really bad, and I think I would be the man to do it if I was ever face to face with that man. He's told so many lies and made so much shit up. Even getting that guy on that spoke about Vienna and her autism. I know he put that guy up to it. That guy's messaged me. The crackhead we got on him and Paddy Conroy. That guy he put him up to that, to talk about Vienna and call her a retard and was calling the names and talking about her autism, saying that it come from me and this, that, the other. He put him up to that. He put that guy up to that. I've got the messages and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? So you can understand where my hatred comes for Shadow Boxer. Not my hatred, my anger towards him. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate Shadow Boxer. I'm just angry towards him. And I think if I was ever face to face with him, my anger would come out and I would absolutely tear that man's face off, clean off. Like I really would. I would hate him bad. Anyway, I don't think I'll ever be face to face with Shadow Boxer. I'd actually try and make sure that I wasn't face to face with him because I don't need to be. I've got some massive news coming. I'm signing with a massive management team. I've got, massive sponsors coming on board. I've got massive fights lined up, overseas, Italy, possibility of going to America next year. All this is in the talks with me now. And I've only had one fight. So surely to God, the BKFC and big organisations are seeing what I can bring to the table and know that, I don't just turn up and just to show up. I turn up to fight. I turn up to win, and I will die trying, 100%. God bless, guys.